We are back. Hello. And I am so thankful to have y'all and for me to have my friends here. I'm Hillary Morgan Ferrer from Mama Bear Apologetics, and with me is...
Hi, I'm Lindsay Medenwalt from Mama Bear Apologetics.
I'm Elizabeth Urbanowitz from Foundation Worldview.
And I'm Amy Davison, also with Mama Bear Apologetics.
Our team is back together because our Quality Quarantine series actually did so well that we had a donor say, hey, do you think I could pay for you to bring these back? And we thought about it and said, okay, sure, that sounds like fun. I like being with my friends. And but we can't exactly call it Quality Quarantine because we're not quarantined anymore. So welcome to the very first Daily Discipleship.
Yay!
So in Daily Discipleship, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the same kind of progression that we did in Quality Quarantine, where we have Movie Monday, Training Tuesday, Worldview Wednesday, Theology Thursday, and Fun and Fellowship Friday. And we are going to pick a theme for the week, and then each one of these activities that we're going to suggest that you can do with your kids are going to reinforce the theme. So this week's theme is on how to disagree agreeably, because I think we can all agree that this is going to be a really important skill for adults and kids in the next coming months leading up to the election. So for Movie Monday, which is today, we picked the movie The Parent Trap. So Lindsay, tell us about The Parent Trap and what that has to do with disagreeing well.
Right, so you can pick your favorite version, either the one from the 1960s or the Lindsay Lohan from the 90s, but they basically follow these two young women who are at summer camp together from different parts of the country, and they look exactly alike because hence they're played by the same actors, and they hate each other from the beginning, and they want to find any way to annoy each other and just be outright mean to each other. I was telling Elizabeth that it's ironic that there's this song like "Let's Get Together," yeah, 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 and in that scene in the 1960s version, like the one girl is cutting the dress of the other girl, and that is not the message of that song. And so how did they come together? How did they begin to work together? Well, they're put in this isolation cabin, which I don't think is like the best idea for summer camp. I don't even know if summer camps actually do that, but they're separated from everybody else and encouraged to either get along or kill each other is essentially what the camp director says.
Sure, why
and
not?
No, why not? So the way that they end up getting along is a rainstorm comes and wipes off one of the girls' photos from the wall. And the other girl rushes in and says, how can I help you? And it was just sort of a natural, like, how can I help you with this? And the other girl responds and says, thank you. And that begins this long conversation, which eventually leads to them finding out that, surprise, spoiler alert, they're twins that were separated at birth. But it really is a film about how can we get past these initial feelings of like, I don't want to know you, I don't like you, there's something about you that bothers me, to let's be friends and let's get to know one another and get along. Why can't we just all get along?
Yeah, I love that scene that you're describing, Lindsay, because it's just so powerful in that the one twin's natural reaction was just to help. And I think that's something that we can really highlight for our kids while we're watching the movie of what was her natural reaction, and then talk about situations where maybe our natural reaction would be to help, but then also talk about situations where that might not be our natural reaction, but who could we actually reach out to in love, even if we don't feel like it, because there's so many of those situations from childhood through adulthood, where there's just people that we don't naturally click with. But if we actually follow Jesus's example, and reach out in love to those who are different than us, those we don't naturally just mesh with, and also looking at the other end too, who can we thank for something that they've done for us? Because sometimes when we don't like someone, we don't naturally see what is something that they might have done for us that, might just have, overlooked our notice. So to be able to really hone in on those two things, who can we reach out to? Yes.
And I think that's such a skill that we've especially lost as social media has taken more prominence. It's just, if you disagree with someone, you unfriend them, you block them, they are gone, you ghost them. It's become this whole movement to where now it's you can watch these videos, and either one is perfect. I honestly recommend a movie marathon. Watch both because they're equally charming, but it just gives you a great opportunity of talking with your kids about what would happen had they not reached out, had they not started speaking. What are some things that you can think of, maybe someone that you don't disagree with on the bus or in your class, that maybe if you just showed a little empathy and care, who knows what sort of friendship that can blossom into. And I've had that happen in my life in the military as well, to where, we've butt heads with this gal on night shift. And then eventually she's like, you know what? You're okay. McKillop, you're okay. And then we got along and it was great for the rest of the time. And it was so fun. And so these things can still happen. So in a time to where, kids are almost groomed to just, if someone makes you mad, just get rid of them out of your life. It's no, that person still has value, and to show them the love. And who knows, you may end up having a friend that you end up meeting up with.
And I think one of the important themes in the movie that y'all discussed, I have vague memories of it, is that the kind of the other moment that it's like they needed that moment of empathy that started the ball rolling. And then after that, what they start looking at is, we're not just going to look at our differences, we're going to look at our similarities.
Yes.
Because I do find, especially with kids and cliques of friends, it always works well when everybody has their own role. But when you have two people that kind of vying for the same role in that group, that's where you have a lot of conflict. And so this would be like the movie. They're like, this person is too similar to me, so I need to establish basically my role in the group. But when they stopped looking at their differences and started looking at their similarities, then they were able to actually unify over, a zillion conversations of, oh, you do that? Me too. And I think especially just as parents in this political climate right now, and just in this really, trigger happy climate of everybody just ready to be so angry, looking at similarities is a way towards unity, and it's a way to disagree well, because when you identify 9 things that you agree with, then that one thing that you disagree with doesn't seem quite so big.
Let's all get some peanut butter ice cream with Oreos, yeah?
Yes! That's a reference from The Parent Trap, so you'll have to watch it to see what we mean. So, but that is our Movie Monday for today, and we look forward to seeing you the rest of the week for our daily discipleship. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.